So what a moment it is for Israel, for the families and friends of the hostages.
Right now on Apple Valley News Now, live at 5, the leader of Hamas has been eliminated. The late-breaking details are ahead. Plus, Amazon and Energy Northwest are partnering to fund efforts for a new project. Plus, a shopping cart ordinance passes in Yakima. What it means, coming up. Stacy?
And we had a nice day. Get your coats out. It's going to be cold tonight. I'll tell you all about it coming up.
This is Apple Valley News Now at 5 on your side.
Good evening, everybody, and thank you for joining us. I'm Austin Reed. We are going to start with breaking news right off the top. A crash investigation on SR 240 near Hagen Road, backing up rush hour traffic. The crash happened just after 3:30 this afternoon. It appears it involves at least one vehicle. Authorities were also spotted inspecting the railroad crossing area near where the car was stopped. There is significant damage to the railroad tracks. The roads were closed for a short time, but emergency vehicles have now left the scene and the roads have opened back up. Well, new tonight, the National Weather Service has issued the very first widespread freeze of the season for many parts of our viewing area. Temperatures will plummet into the teens and 20s over the mountains and in the mid-20s to mid-30s in lower elevations. Thanks for joining us, everybody. I'm Austin Reed. Let's get right to First Alert. Stacy Lee joining us live from our Weather Center with the very latest. Hey, Stacy.
That's right, Austin, the first freeze of the season. It's been pretty mild today. Look at the clouds. Beautiful evening on our Dust Devil sky cam. 61 degrees. Our winds are light at 6 miles per hour. Our sunset at 6:05, and that traffic is moving along smoothly on I-182. Temperatures around the area already dropping into the 50s tonight. And we're going to see those temperatures plummeting as a cold front moves in. Look at our area. Most of us under the freezing level, with the exception of the Dalles. 28 tonight, Pendleton, 31 Tri-Cities, 30 in Yakima, 27 in Pendleton. And check this out. We got our first snow of the season. This is for all my ski buddies up there. This is White Pass, 6,500-foot elevation, so a nice little dusting of snow. All right, this is where we could see some showers tomorrow. We have a very slight chance of a stray shower. Better chances for Ellensburg and Yakima, with lighter chances through the lower Columbia Basin. Mostly dry and breezy tonight. Some scattered showers headed our way tomorrow. That freeze warning in place. I'll tell you a little bit more about that coming up. And of course, more mountain snow is on the way. Austin?
All right, Stacy, thank you for up-to-date First Alert weather information, including blogs, active alerts, the interactive radar, live sky cams, and more. Head to our website, applevalleynewsnow.com. There you can also download our app for Android or Apple iOS. You can get our QR code, plus watch us on the go for Amazon Fire TV, Roku, Apple TV, and Android TV. While the Oregon Department of the State Fire Marshal deploying an incident management team to North Carolina, the crew left this morning to help with the aftermath of Hurricane Helene. The North Carolina Emergency Operations Center says that about 90 people are still missing and many communities remain inaccessible. The team is led by Incident Commander Ian Yoakum and includes an operations section chief, a plans section chief, and 3 logistics section chiefs. The 6-person team will be working northeast of Asheville. Amazon and Energy Northwest announcing that they are partnering to fund efforts to move toward development and deployment of small modular reactor technology in Washington state. It's to advance reliable energy across the Northwest. Energy Northwest tells us the SMR project has been in the works for a few years. They say the small reactor would be built on a site near the Columbia Generating Station. Officials say this project will also create more jobs.
We're expecting the construction jobs to be around 1,000 people or maybe higher at the peak. And then long-term jobs, anywhere from 100 to 200 long-term direct jobs.
Cullen also says there are efforts to bring some of the supply chain of this technology to the Tri-Cities. As for why build in the Tri-Cities area, simple answer: the area is rich in nuclear knowledge. According to A Better Richland, a change could really be coming. The Benton County Auditor says the group collected enough signatures on the petition to bring it to the next step. This comes after last week the group presented more than 3,800 signatures from Richland residents to the city clerk. Currently, all Richland City Council members are elected at large. The group wants districts to bring more representation across the city. With the signatures validated, that means it will go to the ballot for voters on an upcoming measure. This will not, however, be on the November ballot. Well, now to continuing coverage. At the Pasco City Council meeting last night, the facilities director explained the long-term plans for the Pasco Aquatics Center. They have increased the indoor space to 60% and have left room for more phases of the project to expand in the future. One council member brought up the fact that maybe it's not big enough. Pasco's facilities director had this to say in response.
Remember that this is by definition a regional facility. This is also a facility that the city of Pasco is paying for with the sales tax. It is not coming from sales tax of Richland and Kennewick.
The first phase of the center is to break ground in January 2025 with a grand opening planned for April of 2026. The search continues for 2 crew members aboard a Navy aircraft that crashed near Mount Rainier this week. The aircraft was located yesterday afternoon on a mountainside just east of Mount Rainier. The jet crashed in a remote area not accessible by motorized vehicles. The Navy says an emergency operations center has been established at Naval Air Station Whidbey Island to coordinate response efforts. A new ordinance has been approved by the Yakima City Council this week. It will prohibit operation and possession of a shopping cart on public rights of way and in parks, along with allow for immediate seizure of the shopping cart. A person violating this ordinance would be subject to a civil infraction with a fine of $50.
If a store or a business has an identified cart, they will receive written notice of impoundment, and they will have 14 days to retrieve that cart. So if a store does not have an identified cart, they will not receive notice that they can retrieve it, but they will receive the cart collection fee.
The city could already immediately impound most abandoned carts, but this amended language makes it clearer. Owners are still exempt from the fee if they have previously installed locking devices on their carts. The public, including developers, city staff, and stakeholders, joined together on Wednesday in Sunnyside to meet the new director of Economic and Community Development. Derek Bratton recently joined the city. Sunnyside manager Mike Gonzalez says the meeting was to provide the construction community with an opportunity to ask questions, understand Derek's new vision, and inform people on the new direction the city is taking. The attendees also had a chance to share their concerns and ask questions. Turning to sports, comedian, caddy, and ESPN personality Michael Collins is officially a member of the Boys and Girls Club Hall of Fame. Collins is in the Tri-Cities for the Boys and Girls Clubs of Benton and Franklin County's Dinner with Friends fundraiser. This is at the Three Rivers Convention Center. The goal is to raise $500,000. Collins is the featured speaker of the evening. He says growing up in Lancaster, Pennsylvania, he spent a lot of time at the local Boys and Girls Club a few blocks away from his home, and his experience there helped shape him into the man he is today.
It allowed me to kind of flourish and allow my personality to be what it is today, which I probably should apologize to some of the counselors that were there for letting me be a class clown. And it was the same in school as well. But like, yeah, being around the Boys and Girls Club, it was a safe place where I could be me.
Collins toured the state of the Boys and Girls Clubs in Kennewick and says he was very impressed by their clubhouse. Apple Valley News Now live at 5 is just getting started. Still ahead, the Pasco Fire Department honoring some of their own. Plus,
Israel says the leader of Hamas has been killed in an operation inside Gaza, and this could lead to a potential shift in the war. I'm Rena Roy, and I'll have the latest details coming up.
And as we leave you to break, beautiful shot from Richland. Our Stacy Lee back. She is tracking that first fall freeze. Details next.
Dirty tactics and lies have become a staple of American politics. But I'm not a regular politician. I'm Jared Sessler, and I approve this message. Dan Newhouse is spending millions of dollars to spread outright lies about me. President Trump needs an ally in Congress who will join his fight to lower taxes, fix the economy, and restore traditional American values. I've been endorsed by President Trump and the House Freedom Caucus, but more importantly, I'm endorsed by you, the people, who handed me a decisive victory in the August primary. So vote for the conservative we deserve.
Here in Washington, we love the word "and," like socks and sandals, flannels and beanies, wheat fields and mountains. And now with FundHub WA, saving money and helping the climate. Find grants to bring resources and funds to your community. Get incentives to grow your business and transition to clean energy. And discover rebates that will save you money at home and on the go and reduce emissions. Find funding opportunities today at fundhub.wa.gov.
18 years, 32 years, 20 years, 35 years.
A job not only supports a family, but it gives you dignity. I'm Maria Beltran. With warehouses closing and hundreds of jobs lost, it's time we elect a fighter. Like so many of us, my family struggles to keep up with the cost of groceries and afford rent. Your family's struggles are my family's struggles. I'll work hard for you in Olympia.
Paid for by Friends Maria Beltran.
Visit Fred's Appliance today and explore unbeatable deals on the largest selection of in-stock, get-it-today inventory in the region. Discover the quietest KitchenAid dishwasher, offering powerful cleaning without the noise. Run a cycle anytime. Enjoy a third-level rack for silverware and utensils, an adjustable middle rack for tall items, and the Print Shield finish that resists smudges and fingerprints. All for just $849. Save $300 today. At Fred's, we sell appliances. Only appliances.
Jared Sessler's radical tax plan would make everything cost more.
Sessler backs a 30% sales tax on everything you buy.
And Sessler wants taxes and fees to make meat and other foods even more expensive.
Now we've learned that at the height of the border crisis,
Jared Sessler wanted to defund the Border Patrol.
Higher taxes and a weaker border, that's Jared Sessler.
More expensive for you.
Less safe for all of us.
Unacceptable for Central Washington.
I'm Dan Newhouse, and I approve this message.
Smoke City for Less. We are open 7 days a week with now 5 locations.
Let's head to Pasco now. The Taco Sprint is a once-a-year event at the Taco Sprint, and it is a once-a-year baby version of their crawl event. Imagine a pub crawl, but with tacos. That's what the Taco Boss says. This was the inspiration to this weekend's event. It takes place in downtown Pasco near Peanuts Park. It's 6 different walkable taco locations. Just purchase a $15 stamp card at the farmer's market. With that, you will get up to 6 different tacos and help raise money for local kids.
We really love supporting Boys and Girls Clubs. We love their mission. We love that every dollar that we raise stays in Pasco at the Pasco Clubhouse. We think that's really important to benefit the community that we're in right now. And we just really love everything they do for those kiddos.
Or Stacy Lee is going to be out there as well. The event is from 12 to 7 this Saturday, October 19th. So far, the Taco Crawl Committee has been able to raise more than $70,000. Also in Pasco, the fire department is celebrating 4 of its firefighters moving up the ladder. Today, they honored the firefighters with a promotional ceremony. Deputy Chief Chris Mortensen says this kind of ceremony is about celebrating hard work and giving the crew members recognition. He says while climbing up the ladder, it's usually a goal. It's not always steady, though.
So we're constantly evaluating the positions, the workloads, and once we understand the needs of the department and the needs of the community, after that, we want to put the right people basically in the right seat in the right bus. That's kind of the slogan we have. So we found the team that we wanted, and we've got them in the right direction.
As to who is part of the new leadership team, Tim Harkins as Deputy Chief of Operations, Steve Austin, Captain and Medical Services Officer, also James McGrath, Captain and Training Officer, last but not least, Gilberto Diaz. He's a Lieutenant and Assistant Training Officer. Other news tonight, Israel confirming this evening the death of a Hamas leader killed in a military operation in Gaza. The man has been credited as the mastermind behind the October 7th, 2023 attack in Israel. ABC's Rena Roy has the latest.
Killing Sinwar was a main goal for Israel in their war against Hamas. Israeli officials signaling we could see a big shift in Gaza, along with Israeli hostages potentially released.
He's the mastermind behind the most deadly terror attack in Israeli history. And now Israeli officials confirm they've killed Yahya Sinwar, the leader of Hamas. The Israeli foreign minister releasing a statement saying the master murderer who's responsible for the massacre and atrocities of October 7th was killed today by IDF soldiers. ABC's Tom Sufi Burridge is in Tel Aviv.
You can hear and you can see the crowd, hundreds of people gathering outside the IDF headquarters here in central Tel Aviv. That speaks to what a moment it is for Israel, for the families and friends of the hostages still being held in Gaza.
In Sinwar's hometown of Khan Yunis in Gaza, people watching television coverage of his death. Israeli authorities saying this is a great military and moral achievement for Israel, adding the elimination of Sinwar creates a possibility for the immediate release of the abductees and to bring about a change that will lead to a new reality in Gaza without Hamas and without Iranian control. President Biden traveling to Germany today, saying in a statement, this is a good day for Israel, for the United States, and for the world, adding Israel has had every right to eliminate the leadership and military structure of Hamas.
He had American blood on his hands. To any terrorist who kills Americans, threatens the American people, or threatens our troops or our interests, know this, we will always bring you to justice.
Israel says Sinwar, a Hamas leader since 2017, took over leadership of the group's political bureau after the assassination of Ismail Haniyeh in Iran in July. Since the October 7th attack, Israeli authorities say Sinwar had been hiding behind the civilian population in Gaza for the past year, above ground and in Hamas tunnels below the Gaza Strip.
Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu saying tonight that this is an important moment in the war and that this is the beginning of the day after Hamas, telling the people of Gaza this is their opportunity to break free from Hamas's tyranny. Rena Roy, ABC News, New York.
ABC's World News Tonight coming up in just a bit at 5:30 with more coverage. Well, today, people all around the world took part in International Shakeout Day. It's an earthquake drill meant to teach people what to do when one actually strikes. Participants learned how to drop, cover, and hold on. Experts say this is the best way to reduce the chance of injury or death during an earthquake. Schools across both Washington and Oregon also took part.
From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Stacy Lee.
And I did my fair share of earthquake drills in California growing up. All right, 59 degrees looking down into the Yakima Valley. Beautiful afternoon, a few clouds. Those rain showers drying out. Winds are still a little bit breezy. You can see our camera shaking a little bit. Winds at 11 miles per hour. Our sunset at 6:05. Let's talk about those temperatures. That's the big story. We've got a big drop. In fact, check out this area in the dark blue. Those temperatures falling 20 to 25 degrees below normal. And just to put that in perspective, I checked out the daytime high tomorrow in Phoenix, 77. So that's 15 to 20 degrees below the average there. We'll continue to see that cold air dropping in from Alaska. Freeze warning in place. Check out the map, the dark purple. So foothills of the blues, Walla Walla, Dayton included, and then the Yakima, Kittitas Valley all the way down into the Columbia River Gorge. We could see temperatures as low as 28 or more. You want to bring in or protect your sensitive vegetation. Here's the weather pattern going on. Again, we see these showers moving in tomorrow. Look at the snow from the Canadian portion of the Cascades all the way down into Washington, kind of drying up as it gets into the Oregon area, transitioning to all rain showers later in the day. But that's the first one. We've got some more systems building up for next week. Overall, clearing skies for us tonight. Here comes the cloud cover. Here comes those showers somewhere around lunchtime, hit or miss. We might get rain shadowed out of that, but we are showing a very slight chance of rain. This graphic is showing us it's being pretty generous with the rain, but again, expect a few scattered showers and sprinkles throughout the day tomorrow from the Kittitas, Yakima Valley all the way into the Columbia Basin. And we'll see clearing skies on Saturday with warmer temperatures. Here's what we're looking at for those showers tomorrow, anywhere from around 2 in the afternoon, early afternoon, evening for Tri-Cities, a little bit later in the foothills of the Blues and the Walla Walla area. Here are the chilly temperatures tonight. It's going to be a cold one. 27 degrees in Ellensburg, 30 for Yakima, 31 tonight for Hermiston and Tri-Cities, 30 in Walla Walla, and a chilly 28 for Pendleton. Tomorrow, look for those scattered showers, cooler temperatures, 50s and 60s all through the area. And yes, we see more mountain snow. Picked up a light skim of snow yesterday, especially up by White Pass. If you're hitting the road this weekend, it's going to be unsettled, widespread showers through the Pacific Northwest, some gusty winds here and there, and those mountain snow showers, you'll want to keep an eye on those roads. Here's what it looks like on the west side. Seattle, wet, and wet. Temperatures in the 50s and 60s. If you're heading to Portland, going to be overcast and wet Friday. A little bit clearer, but overcast on Saturday, and more showers on the way for Sunday. Going to start out dry in the Spokane area, and then we'll have a chance of rain on Sunday. So overall, not a bad travel forecast. But yep, it is on the cold side. Look at those overnight lows as we get into next week, with breezy winds developing Sunday into Monday as we see our next system building into the area. 60s tomorrow, Tri-Cities, warming up into the 70s just in time for the weekend, with another cool down and more rain on the way next week. Ellensburg going to be a little unsettled. Be careful driving through the area tonight, as those roads could be slippery if there's any moisture left over on the highways. That's Ellensburg. Walla Walla warming up to 77 on Sunday. Not bad, but those breezy winds picking up in the afternoon, bringing in cooler temperatures and showers into Monday. Here's Hermiston, 60s, 70s for the weekend. Breezy winds and rain once again Monday, with more chilly overnight lows later next week. So tonight's the night. It's going to be very, very cold.
Yeah.
Your daughter was saying, oh, it's so cold. I'm like, just wait.
Just wait. Yeah, this ain't nothing.
That's right.
Thanks, Stacy. Up next on your news at 5, our Spotlight brings us to Hermiston.
Judy Justice.
And I'm just getting started.
Weekdays at 4 on Apple Valley News Now.
As a Trump-endorsed candidate for Congress against Dan Newhouse, I knew I'd be attacked from multiple fronts. But some of the lies my opponents have been spreading are downright ridiculous. So let's settle the beef. I'm a cattle-raising, gun-carrying, brisket-loving conservative, and I believe in the American dream. I believe in lower taxes and that our farms and ranches make us prosperous and more secure. Eastern Washington deserves a representative that is honest and transparent. So vote for the conservative we deserve. I'm Jared Sessler, and I approve this message.
I felt like there was just no answers to get out of the anxiety and the depression that I had.
I was suicidal all the time, thinking about it nonstop, every day, every moment.
Depression and anxiety rob millions of us of our day-to-day lives, but nothing seems to pull you out of it. Introducing NeuroStim TMS, Washington's leading provider of transcranial magnetic stimulation, or TMS therapy. At NeuroStim TMS, we treat the root of the problem with a series of short daily treatments. Using a non-invasive magnetic field, TMS activates the natural function of the brain's neurotransmitters to improve mood and regulate emotion. TMS is not shock therapy. It's an FDA-approved, easy outpatient experience and covered by all major medical insurances.
There's nothing better than just being able to enjoy life again.
The treatment just completely, fundamentally changed my life.
Visit neurostimtms.com today or call to schedule your free consultation at any of our 12 Washington state locations.
Liberal Democrats Maria Beltran, Anna Kennedy, and Chelsea Demas support even no questions asked late-term abortions. They oppose measures that would lower taxes, make gas cheaper, and let you take home more of your paycheck. They would make your streets less safe, raise your gas prices, and encourage your children to disrespect faith, family, and America. Seattle liberals Maria Beltran, Anna Kennedy, and Chelsea Demas do not share your values and are too extreme for Central Washington.
I am ready to find the second great love of my life.
The Golden Bachelorette, sponsored locally by Legends Casino Hotel. Fun is how we roll.
Hi, I'm Deb Mangeras, and as a longtime CPA, I can assure you, Olympia needs to tighten its belt. That's why I'm running for the House of Representatives. I've been a Wapato resident and apple orchardist all my life, and I have been active for decades in my community, helping make this a better place to live. Now I want to represent you in Olympia, to bring common sense and hardworking values to the Capitol.
Join me November 5th in voting for Deb Mangeras.
Trending at 5, our nightly local spotlight. Tonight we head to Northern Oregon. On Wednesday was National Bosses Day, so Hermiston staff celebrated the day by dressing up like their fearless leader, City Manager Byron Smith. The city wanted to give a special thanks to his wife Kim for raiding his closet and sharing some sweaters, vests, and ties with the staff. Quick reminder, if you have an idea for the Spotlight of 5, send me an email, areed@applevalleyNewsNow.com. All right, coming up in weather.
Sweaters are a great idea. Coats, mittens, scarves, hats, get all that ready. We've got cold weather on the way.
But first, here's what's coming up tonight at 6.
Coming up tonight on Apple Valley News Now, a comedian, professional caddy, and ESPN personality is in town. Find out why coming up.
Baltimore battles Tampa Bay Monday Night Football on Apple Valley News Now.
For 17 years, Senator Curtis King has delivered for you. That's why the media calls Curtis King the Republican in Olympia most likely to pass a bill. Senator King helped fund the Sozo Soccer Complex, giving local youth and adult soccer players a world-class recreational facility. Curtis King helped Perry Tech expand, providing thousands of local students with real-world skills. And he delivered funding for dozens of local road projects.
I'm Curtis King, and I'd appreciate your vote.
Fall into $140,000 in cash and prizes this autumn at Wild Horse Resort and Casino. We're giving away up to $13,000 in cash and prizes every Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Then fall into $10,000 cash during the semi-grand prize drawing on Saturday, October 26th. Keep playing in November for your chance to drive away in a brand new Kia Telluride on November 23rd. Jumpstart your fall at Wild Horse Resort and Casino. More winners, more often.
I had surgery as a child that I barely remember, but decades later, the insurance company called that a pre-existing condition and denied me long-term care insurance. Washington State created a long-term care benefit to help millions of people like me afford the care we need. But I-2124 will take that benefit away, leaving millions with no way to get or afford long-term care. If it can happen to me, it can happen to anybody. That's why we all have to vote no on I-2124.
Life's too short to put up with a bad bank. You have a life, places to go, people to see, and things to get done. You don't have time for banks or credit unions that don't care. You deserve better. At Yakima Federal Savings and Loan, we've served Central Washington and the Columbia Basin since 1905 with 10 branches, face-to-face service, and a 5-star app when you're on the go. So go have fun. Do what makes you happy. Life's too short to put up with anything less. Bank better with Yakima Federal.
Apples are the pride of Washington's agricultural economy. When India put on the retaliatory tariff, we were basically dead in the market. Thanks to Maria Cantwell stepping in and getting that tariff removed, we're up to 2 million boxes and we're climbing steadily. It's a huge difference for the industry. Maria Cantwell is effective because she works with both parties to get things done for our industry.
I'm Maria Cantwell, and I approve this message because I'll keep taking on powerful interests to get things done.
It's time for a home ice advantage. The Kraken are back in the deep. See how the team is shaping up early in the new season. Watch free, live from Climate Pledge Arena. Kraken, Flyers, pregame at 6:30 tonight on MeTV.
Next, E.T. Only we're with voice coach Snoop Dogg. Then, on-set exclusives.
Welcome to the set of Matlock.
Plus, Georgie and Mandy.
I do look like the emoji girl.
Next, E.T.
Tonight at 7 on Apple Valley News Now.
Welcome back. Viewer photo of the day.
That's right. Come take a look at your screen right now. Great shot. Remember, it's the full moon. Dee keeps leaving her cursor on there. Thank you, Dee. Full moon at 4:45 this morning. We could see it last night. It'll still appear full tonight, but it was actually full right there at 4:45. 6:45 in the morning. So check that out. All right, let's plan your day tomorrow. Again, very cold, temperatures dropping. If you have any sensitive vegetation, bring it indoors, harvest it, put it away, do something, or it could, you'll be risk of killing that plant out there. Yeah. Noon in the 40s and the afternoon 50s and 60s. So a definite shift, that definite cool down, Austin. Leaves are changing and starting to fall off the trees. Yeah. Irrigation water's getting turned off. Right. So a lot going on.
Thanks for joining us here at 5. Austin Reed with Stacey Lee. Hoping your news is good news. We're back at 6.
See you then.